Organic farming is back on the global farming and development agenda. It is the original type of farming which had been displaced by the advent of commercial farming, which ushered in the use of inorganic farming practices such as monoculture and massive use of synthetic fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides, among other commercial-oriented inputs. While commercial farming indeed increased production per unit area, it was not mindful of environmental sustainability plus consumer health.
Research has been done. When you use chemicals, you're going to kill the good thing in the soil. You make the soil sterile and just still, like a dead piece of cake. Then you have to buy the fertilizers to add manure. But even when you go through these processes, it becomes exponential. Every other season, you need something more concentrated. And the implication to your life as a farmer, the people who are going to consume your goods, and the environment, because it has a very big carbon print. So it's very, very expensive in terms of environmental value and in terms of the real cost. And as you spray chemical to have a very good carrot, what about the chemicals that stay in there and they are going to be part of your system? And it's going to eat you away slowly by slowly.
A lot of the lifestyle challenges that we're experiencing now, particularly with our health, have come from the things we've been putting in consciously and even unconsciously. You know, you breathe in wherever you are, but you also come in and then in the food you're eating it directly. For example, tomatoes. Tomatoes are sprayed in the gardens, then they are sprayed in the store, in the market, so that they don't spoil. Whoever is spraying them is really not caring what they are spraying on, because all they want to preserve their tomatoes so that they sell. Now you get the tomato, you see even the chemical on it, because many of the time you see the chemical on it, and then you don't even have time to wash it off. Or you wash it off lightly and you're really not thinking about it. And sometimes people argue and say, Joy, these are very small amounts of chemical. You know, so that chemical is coming in small amounts for consistent periods. It's no longer small. And it's just a matter of time before our bodies start to break down. They are overwhelmed.
Unlike, for example, dirty food, where it has a lot of disease-causing organisms. For disease-causing organisms, when you boil the food, the diseases will, the organisms will die. Now, if you have chemicals, however much you boil, the chemicals don't disappear. They remain. So they go into the body and they start concentrating over a period of time, 10 years, 15 years. That's when you develop the cancers. So because it's a slow happening thing, people don't never realize. Now, that is in the developing world. In the developed world, 2/3 of all underground water in the United States is contaminated with chemicals. And now the next crisis in the US will be water, drinking water. And where are these chemicals coming from? They are coming from farming, large-scale, conventional farming.
With the increasing realization of the negative effects of inorganic agriculture on consumer health and the massive environmental degradation, friends of the ecosystems, including civil society organizations and consumer communities, are now insisting that organic farming is the way to go. Organic farming is a production system that combines tradition, innovation, and science to sustain the health of soils, ecosystems, and the people. Organic farming systems are based on the use of own farm inputs and management practices such as soil and water conservation, crop rotation, green manure, composting, and biological pest control methods to restore and maintain agricultural production and productivity. This increases the resilience to impacts of climate change, revitalizes the health of the people, and promotes ecological harmony. To consolidate this drive, the Swedish Society for Nature Conservation, in partnership with Consumers International, have been conducting the Green Action Week campaigns to increase awareness about the need to produce and consume more of ecological foods that not only promote good health, but also maintain the integrity of the environment.
The Green Action Week usually takes place in the first week of October, usually the 40th week of the year annually. And since 2013 up to 2016, the theme has been organic food and farming for all. The campaign involves 27 countries from around the world, and 41 civil society organizations participate annually. PELUM is part of the 41 civil society organizations that are participating in this Global Green Action Week campaign. And we are focusing on two major objectives this year. And one is to sensitize the general public on the importance and benefits of consuming organic foods. Organic foods are healthy, they are safe, and promote a safe environment. And the second objective is to create a linkage between the producers and the consumers of organic foods. Because consumption and production of organic foods go hand in hand. When the consumption is high, the production is also high, and this together promotes a sustainable environment and sustainable development of the organic sector.
Uganda is among the least users of inorganic fertilizers on the African continent. Recent studies show that of the 35 million people, nearly 80%, the bulk of whom smallholder farmers, use organic farming practices. Not surprising, because it is tradition and therefore a subconscious practice. Unfortunately, the duty bearers have not come out, as they would, to help the population to develop it, to be able to sufficiently feed Ugandans and to tap into the comparative advantage, the now growing market for organic foods in the world. The market for organic food, both crop and animal products, is growing every day at an average of 15 to 25% per annum.
The organic market has reached 72 billion US dollars. That's the highest growth you can ever find in any food industry. Most of the food industry now, especially in the babies, they're using 100% organic or natural ingredients. And that's a big industry. Baby food is a big industry globally. And that's happening even the aged. The only way they can stay longer healthy is eating healthy foods. So countries like Denmark have set what they have called the national target. They want to convert their whole farming production into organic farming in the coming years, maybe 15 years or 20 years. Now, these targets demonstrates that the consciousness of consumers, consciousness towards the environment is growing. And probably it explains why we see more demand going up for organic products.
The reason I set up this scheme, I was like, you mean everything good has to go to Europe? You mean we are not worth feeding organic stuff? We first encourage this to be like we feed them on our own. I encourage our members in Fresh Veggies that sell stuff to your family members, your neighbors. So right now we have consumers who are telling us, people in our office want you to start delivering to their homes.
Obulimi buno obwa organic bumazeemu emyaka 10. Tulima obutungulu, tulima green pepper, tulima obutungulu obw'ebikoola, tulima lumonde, tulima greens n'ovakkedo. Eky'omukisa omulungi nti ebintu byaffe bigulibwa mu kiro. Kakati kaŋŋambe nga lumonde. Mu ndebe eyo nnyinza okufunamu omutwalo gwange ogw'omwaka 7-5, ate nina essuubi nti buli kye nnaayingiza munda kiramu, nja kuba n'obulamu, ne bannange abanaabigula bajja kuba n'obulamu.
Organic products fetch much higher prices. This is evidenced when you go to supermarkets in Kampala, like Uchumi now. They separated organic products. And I was given a contract of every week to supply 200 kilograms of pawpaw. But the problem was sustainability. I didn't have enough pawpaw. And I did that for only three months. That's why this year I've started growing pawpaw. And I'm likely to start harvesting in December. I will go back to Uchumi, and I think this time I'm likely to get 1,000 shillings per kilo. because for them they buy in kilograms.
For me, I've been selling sweet pepper because I'm growing my sweet pepper in a greenhouse, which is 60 by 35. Yeah? But last harvest, we harvested more than 10 m. You see that? I'm doing something small, but I'm getting big. Even people come right now on the center. As you see these small plots, vegetables, what? You see, I just give them a bunch, 5,000. But when you go in the local market, you buy the very, very bunch at 1,000. Why? Because they know they are healthy. You buy something cheap, it's cheap on the market, but you know you're buying sickness or diseases, let me say.
This growing demand for organic products calls for an increase in organically managed farmlands to increase the production. In this direction, there is need to streamline capacity building efforts to reach out to farmers at household and farmer group level to increase organic production knowledge and information, but also to universalize it. Already some training institutions have been established to offer vocational short training courses to farmers and all interested members. They have developed a thematic curriculum and some training materials to support the process. But we also need to integrate organic farming into the mainstream education curriculum.
If we can introduce organic agriculture in primary schools and in the syllabus of secondary schools, we shall have taken it a step further. At Uganda Matters University, we have curricula for short courses. We have a short course in organic agriculture, which is taught once a year. We have curricula for diploma programs in organic agriculture. We have curriculum for the bachelors of organic agriculture, and this is not anywhere else in Africa, to the best of my knowledge. And we also have a master's in agroecology, which is a related field. And very soon, we shall be having a PhD in agroecology. And all those are initiatives to train people to become aware of organic agriculture and its advantages. Times and again, people do things without knowing. But if they are trained, if they are made aware of what is happening in the environment at different levels, then they will be doing things with awareness. Short courses are meant for farmers who are interested in organic agriculture. We send them as advocates, as ambassadors of organic agriculture. I am aware that we have some advocates of ecological organic agriculture at Makerere University, which is a good thing. Research is going on. I'm also aware that we have programs going on at Chambogo University, and other universities are starting to come up with short courses in organic agriculture.
With leveled training and increased awareness, there will be better standardization of organic practices and products across the board, and the production and consumption of organic foods will significantly increase. We also need to intensify research efforts in order to boost the literature base for ecological farming.
There is still a big gap in terms of literature, in terms of data concerning organic agriculture. But we are starting to see data coming up. These people who are doing courses, bachelor's courses and master's courses, are doing research. And when they do research, this research is publishable. And therefore, what has to be scaled up is the amount of research being done. If one university is the only one that is having a bachelor's and a master's program, then the research coming out cannot be comparable to the conventional research being done in many other universities.
Certifying bodies such as Yugosat are also in place to ensure that the products meet the local as well as the international consumer standards. That way, malpractices that have on some occasions threatened the quality of the organic foods will all be straightened.
Yugosat has efficient and transparent system that can help our consumers to have that confidence that the farmers or the operators that are certified, they are in line with the applicable standards. For example, if you want to sell locally in our supermarket, we follow what we call Uganda Organic Standard. Now, if they want to go regional, then they have to follow the East African Organic Product Standards. And then if you want to export to America, there's what we call National Organic Program for America. And also, if you want to export to Japan, there is what we call Japanese Agriculture Standards. Or European Union, they have to follow the EU standards. So the operator, after applying that you want to be certified, we make a contract with him, showing him what Yugosat will do and what the operator has to do in line with the applicable standards. We have competent staff, the inspectors who go down there to meet the operators to verify that they are not using any chemicals. For 3 years, not using chemicals, following the standard. And also we have to see or prove that they are safeguarding our environment. They are not carrying out their activities in the swamps. They are not cutting down trees, and they are not participating in burning. Then certification decision is made depending on the finding, and also every year they have to renew, so that we go and verify that everything is in operation. Because if we just leave them and we give them a certificate and we sit here in our offices, these people may become reluctant in following the standard.
Well-designed policies on organic farming will speed up the process of taking organic farming to another level, where all of us will enjoy the benefits thereof.
There is no law which stops us from doing organic farming in Uganda. But the policy specifically will be crucial because Uganda as a country is the most comparative country for organic production on the continent, and probably among the first 5 globally. So if you have such a comparative advantage, you don't leave it to nature. You want to exploit it as much as possible. You have to be proactive in coming up with strategies to exploit these opportunities. We have more demand than we can supply at the moment. Everywhere we go, they are asking for a lot of products. We don't have enough of them. And sometimes it's not because the products are not there. Sometimes the products are there, but farmers are not organized. And sometimes maybe they are not collecting centers. Now, these are things which government would invest in strategically to facilitate the trade. Government only invests where it has a policy. So instead of leaving everything to be done by private sector alone, then there will be a channel for government to also directly invest in a sector which can potentially bring a lot of foreign exchange for this country.
Uganda, like many developing countries, agriculture is and will for a long time remain the major source of livelihoods for the majority of the people. So be part of the organic movement. Contribute to this year's theme, Organic Food and Farming for All, Consumers and Farmers for Food Security, Safe and Sustainable Food. You will have added a building block towards achieving true development, the universe, housing healthy people, living in a healthy environment.